Good morning. It's 7:04 on this Thursday, December 21st. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's another frosty morning, Thursday here in Lebanon, Tennessee. We welcome you to our program, and we welcome our sponsor, Bates Ford. And Ronnie Kelly is here this morning. Ronnie, at the moment at least, is solo, but Ronnie, good morning.
Good morning.
We are glad to have you with us, and of course, to represent Bates Ford. Now at 1780 Franklin Road, the dealer. It'll trade for anything it don't eat. You said Paul might be paying you back.
Yeah, maybe a payback because I missed a few times.
You missed 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he isn't here at the moment. Of course, Paul's the general manager at Bates Ford, and y'all have gotten settled in, and you did this around Thanksgiving.
Around Thanksgiving.
You look over there. I honestly, I still haven't been right in front on Franklin Road, but I see you from the interstate, and boy, do you ever have the cars over there.
We have the inventory, and Coleman is continuing to come in. We got a lot of new vehicles coming in, and we back in the new car business.
Well, I think when there's a bigger selection, you have more to choose from. People like that.
We got a big selection. Like some vehicles, I got 12 or 15 of them. And if someone come in looking for a certain vehicle, especially an SUV, I will have the right color and I will have the equipment that's on it because we got something to choose from. And used to, for the last 3 years, we may have one, may not have any. So it's a great thing.
Has adjustment pretty much been made? I know you still don't have absolute everything just like you wanted. Maybe a few things still coming in or to be done, but for the most part, you're there and ready to rock and roll.
We're there and we're moving good, but again, it's a lot of things we still have to adjust to, a lot of things that need to be done, and we're working on it. We're fixing it as we go, and that's a great thing. And because we need more salespeople, and we got a few more salespeople, and our service is growing tremendously. You know, and we got to make some changes on where the people coming in. So it just takes time to put everything in its perspective, you know.
I don't think you do anything of that magnitude, as big as that is. Actually, going from a place that's, especially the service department, quite a bit larger, and you can't have everything just perfect the first day. It takes a little while to adjust.
And we're adjusting, you know, as we go, and Paul is doing a great job of making that happen. He's busy. Every time I see him, he's running here, and if you ask him a question, he's walking while you're talking. And so he wanted to try to fix something else. He's trying to put out a fire over here, put one out over there.
Yeah, right. Well, you just love the fact you've got the bigger selection to choose from. You're probably more prone to make a sale in that situation.
Yes.
Because there's more there and more likely they're going to find what they want.
And the good thing about it, for the last week, we've been getting some great trade-ins, and these are people that's traded with us before, where they bought new cars and they come to trade them in. And so that way, we got a great trade that we can talk about because it was bought there new, and we can do it at a great price.
Right, and everybody doesn't buy a new car. But most people will trade periodically. You don't do like I do and run it till the tires wear off or whatever. But some buy quicker, replace quicker than others. But I mean, cars only last so long, and you don't want to. You want to stay up to date as much as possible.
We want to stay up to date, and unfortunately, sometimes people get into accidents that happen, and they don't, you know, plan on that, and sometimes they have accidents, and sometimes the people don't have insurance, and they don't have driving license, or they got to take that experience. Their insurance company to take care of it. So the good thing about it, we have a lot of great used cars right now. We're getting a lot of good trade-ins now. We don't have to buy as many right now because we're getting trade-ins because we got a lot of new stuff. And Coleman, we got a list of stuff that's coming in. And in big trucks, small trucks, SUVs, I mean, we got a ton of them that's coming.
Well, we say so often the dealer to trade for anything you don't eat, and from time to time, I don't know whether maybe on average or once a week, somebody brings something in there that's not automotive that you trade for.
Yes, we do.
You got anything new to talk about?
campers. We think we got a motorcycle that came in, and got a sidewinder. We got it in, and we're working on it to get it on the lot. So we always have something exciting at Bates Ford.
Well, Ronnie, you probably don't pay a lot of attention to the maintenance part. You know about it, but I mean, you're interested in sales. But you and I can still talk about that cheapest oil change in town for $39.95, I believe it is.
$39.95.
Most cars.
That's 5 quarts for most cars.
Right. And cheapest tires.
Cheapest tires.
Won't be undersold.
Won't be undersold on tires. As a matter of fact, I bought a set of tires a couple weeks ago myself. Great price. Got a rebate on them, and it was great.
Well, that's what happened to me a few weeks ago. I guess maybe 2 or 3 months ago now. But he always asks if they're doing okay, and they are.
Yeah, they're doing great.
And that battery, you may have a better deal on batteries than anything else.
We do have a greater deal on batteries. It's a great thing. Well, I've talked with people that maybe that haven't purchased cars with us, and they need a battery. They come down and get it taken. They can't believe the price of it. And also, we got to remember we have our mobile service also, and our people are taking advantage of that right now too. I had some customers the other day that called me, and I told them, I said, look, hey, all you got to do is call in and do a mobile service. They'll pick it up. You can pay for it on the phone. She said, I can do that? Yeah, so that's working, and we're doing a lot with that.
All right. Well, Ronnie, thanks for being with us this morning. I hope everything goes great. We'll do it again next Thursday. All right. Ronnie Kelly, then sales for 36, soon to be 37 years at Bates Ford, now at 1780 Franklin Road, and they're still the dealer to trade for anything that don't eat. 10:30 after the hour, and my guest this morning is Jason Baird, our fire chief for the city of Lebanon. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
We're glad to have you, of course, and I guess we can say Jeff Baines sent you this time.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's kind of the sequence of events, I think. He told me the other day, well, there's just so much that somebody in public works can talk about,
Well, we appreciate what Jeff does in supplying us a guest each third Thursday in this time slot, but you are it today. And that leaves next Thursday open for something that we're going to be doing, and I'll just tell everybody about that right now. I don't think I've mentioned this, but each year try to do sort of a wrap-up of the year and some of the top stories. So what I'm going to do this year is make it a 2-day thing. We'll do the first half next Thursday, the first half of the year, and not necessarily ranking the top stories. I don't really get into that. I just take each month and some of the few things that happened in January through June we'll do next Thursday, along with some of the prominent people who have been in the obituary column. And then we'll do the same thing on Friday for the last half of the year. So I hope you'll be listening for that. But as far as the fire department goes, how are things?
Things are fantastic. We are ending the calendar year, halfway mark of the fiscal year, and this time of year is really good for us because we get to go through the process for the Christmas for All campaign. So we're very, very involved in that. That's Division Chief of Training, Brian Fountain, has been knee deep in that this year and every year. Honestly, he basically is the liaison from the fire department, and they were able to get toys to 2,500 kids this year. And it looks like, based on what the community has done through us, we're going to be able to make a donation of $35,000 this year. So we're very proud of that. That's the largest donation we've ever given to the Christmas for All. And they basically, what we do is we kind of pay ahead, and they shop all year long. And then everything gets shipped to the fire department. We store it, take care of it, get it delivered to us. And then they're able to buy a lot in bulk, more through that summer program than they do when it comes right before Christmas.
$35,000 is quite a nice sum of money. You have a fundraiser, don't you?
We do mailers, and we have a golf tournament, and then we have the community will always have like Christmas parties. We had an event on the lake this year that was a first for us, and we gave a few items that we had made with our logo and stuff on it, and they auctioned off, and so that was very productive for us. I think that was an $11,000 donation from that. So this community has always supported our Christmas toy drive, and it's just amazing what this community can do when they and they've been loyal to us. That's some of our folks that donate to us have been donating to us for 25, 30 years. I mean, just that's their thing. And they'll show up at the door sometimes with a check and say, I'm here this year for my donation. And so it's an exciting time for us through that process.
What about time off? Or I mean, I've talked with some other people about this. I think even the police last week. I mean, fighting fires is a 24/7 thing. Somebody's got to be on duty, and you work that out pretty well.
We do. On Thanksgiving and Christmas, we've got a plan where we make everybody come in those 2 days, and then we allow everyone to go home for 2 hours. And that way, it's fair across the board. So usually the older guys will default to the younger guys that have kids at home for the first several hours in the morning, and then they'll go around lunch or after lunch or something like that. So it's worked great for us, and it's hard for the younger families to be able to adjust to that new schedule because the older guys are used to it, and but the young guys, the older guys have celebrated Thanksgiving and Christmas inside the fire hall, for years, and but that's how we work it, and that way everybody gets a chance, an opportunity to go home and things like that.
Okay, it's time for us to take a break. Our Fire Chief Jason Baird is my guest. We'll talk more in a moment here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford and the Lifetime Brake Pad Guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer has a vehicle. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Wrapping up the paperwork on an earlier wreck out in the Antioch area, 24 westbound at Hickory Hollow Parkway. There is some traffic volume trying to get in right now through that area from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County towards Nashville up through Antioch. It's picked up just a bit. I-40 out of the Mount Juliet area. Plenty of radar in Wilson and Smith County this morning as you travel up and down I-40. Be careful. A 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services here in Middle Tennessee. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. They're online, tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
Hello, we are A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, community trusted since 1977.
One of the real joys of the holiday season is the opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for your business.
And most importantly, your trust in us.
From everyone at A.G. & Johnson, we wish you a happy holiday season.
Merry Christmas! Happy New Year!
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy holiday season!
We continue here on this Thursday morning. A little bit of frost this morning. Temperature hovering, I guess, around 30 degrees. It was 29 on my car thermometer, which I don't rely on too much. But we have Fire Chief Jason Baird as we continue. What else you want to tell us today?
This week is a fun week for us. We contact all the senior living facilities in the town, in Lebanon, and we let them pick a date and a time for us to come. And we have addressed this before when we go into our nursing facilities and our retirement home, senior living facilities. A lot of folks are shut in, can't get out. Some have families, some don't, all those type things. So we started it last year and did several last year, but nothing like this year. This year we're doing 2 or 3 days, we're doing 2 a day, and then the rest of them we're doing once a day. But we've just been going, making contact with them, and if the temperature is where they can, they'll come outside, and we take several pieces of our equipment and just kind of parade around the building and allow them to see us with their lights and sirens on. And I don't know who enjoys it more, the senior living facility folks that's in there or my firefighters. So they get a chance to blow a horn and a siren. They sure act on it. But it's been exciting for us. That's been really good for us this week. It's been very enjoyable.
Do you ever, and of course only me would think this to ask this right now, but right in the middle of something like that, you have a big emergency that happens. I mean, obviously it could. Hopefully it doesn't, but Have you had that much?
Yeah, had it yesterday. We had the parade scheduled, and then we had a smell of smoke, something burning in a building down west. So, it's amazing when we have big events like this that is big for us and for maybe involving other people. I used to just be completely stressed out about it. And I don't know how it works out, but it always works out. If I'm on a funeral detail that we're for sure tied up on, it works out. I can't explain it, but it just seems to work out. And it does happen, though. Like yesterday we were like 15, 20 minutes late, maybe something like that. And but it does happen. It more now than ever. And it is. I've cut all of our visits down to 1 hour, as far as us coming out and doing a visit to a location or them coming to the fire hall. We've cut everything down to 1 hour just because it's so difficult for us to get with everybody now. I've never turned one down. And so we spent a lot of time doing public education and public relations and things like that. So.
Well, no doubt people appreciate it, and especially with some of the senior establishments you were talking about. I mean, probably a visit from anybody is welcome, and the fire department, and there's some excitement to that.
It is, and it's one of the videos, we've been posting them all week on our Facebook page, and one of the videos, a lady comes out at the very end and says, "I've got 2 grandsons that work at Lebanon Fire, and still have not figured out who those folks are, but I'm gonna figure it out." And so that was exciting, and it kind of takes you back in time to see, nobody knows the story of all those folks and who's out there watching us, and you look at them when they're out there and they're doing pulling their arm down like you do a semi truck to blow the horn kind of thing.
Yeah.
They do that. Yesterday we had a ton of them blowing us kisses and all kind of fun stuff. So you almost want to just sit and talk to them and figure out what their background is, where they came from, and what they've seen and done in their life.
Well, they like it, but again, I can understand why y'all appreciate it too, because they are showing appreciation to you, and you probably don't get thanked every day. Although a few years ago, I remember an interview I did here, a guy who was both a policeman and a fireman, and he said, "People love firemen, they hate the police."
That is true.
To some extent, and we don't hate the police, but usually when they're involved, there's some question about maybe we've done something we shouldn't have done.
Yes, that is true. This community, I've been working now at Lebanon Fire Department for 35 years, and when I first started, you don't really understand it, but you feel it and you see it. And this community has always backed Lebanon Fire Department. And there's been a time or two when I needed their support, and we've tried to fulfill every need they have. We try to provide the very best service that we can provide for them, and we try to make sure every interaction we have with them is pleasant. And but this community gives us more than we could ever give back.
Well, as you look to next year, I'm sure you're planning. You hopefully have you're adequately staffed or close to it. But we are fighting inflation. You have that problem like everybody else does. We have growth issues to deal with, and with more people, we're probably going to need more firefighters and even more equipment. Maybe another fire station. What's all that look like?
We had a fire station on the board for sure. It's not off the board, but we are excited about the future from that perspective. That would be somewhere in the area of South Hartman Drive, probably south of I-40 or something, somewhere in that area. Projected growth in that area looks like it's going to be pretty substantial. And we need something in that area to take some of the call volume off our Station 1 across from the post office. Staffing-wise, I will never turn down a firefighter. We always need firefighters, and so we are excited about that. I've got a new engine that'll be in probably, they're telling me March of 26. It's been on order for getting close to 3 years now, and it's taken about 4 years to get fire pumpers in, which is unbelievable to me. Used to you could get them in within the same year you order them. Yeah. But that'll be in. That brings excitement to our workforce too. And staffing-wise, I think we've got some work to do on it. And, if I've got a mayor and a council and a financial commissioner that I can talk to, that's major. I mean, it's huge, and I have all of that right now, and we can talk about anything at any time, and that's very pleasant to work with because, I have goals. I mean, Chris and I both, when Chris Dow was chief, we both said we would never retire until we get 100 firefighters in suppression. We're getting there. We're getting close. So, when we look at our neighboring cities and the growth they're having and how their fire department has had a lot of growth too, and we want to, not that we want to keep up with the Joneses, but we do provide a very high level of service, and that's the decision has to be made. Do you want to continue to provide that high level of service or not? And we have been the City of Lebanon constituents have been blessed with a very professional and adequately staffed and good equipment fire department, and that's the big thing too. Is we buy the best equipment we can buy. We keep our people in the best equipment we can buy for them as far as personal protection, and so we have a fantastic department, professional department, and it's something that I wish every single person that's in our city would hang their hat right there on the fire department, because it is something to seriously be proud of, because it's we have there's not a single emergency that can come in that we can't handle. Now we may have to call in some more resources, but we definitely can handle it for the beginning stages of it for sure. And so we're very proud. Our facilities are great, and so it's just we will be fighting for some growth, but so is every other department in the city. But we definitely need some things.
Well, by the way, the tornado that came through 2 or 3 weeks ago, were you involved in helping the people maybe in Sumner County or somewhere?
We were. We got a call initially from Chief Scotty Bush of Hendersonville Fire. They had a collapse with some folks possibly trapped. So we geared up and we got our rigs and stuff established to make that call. And in that process, he called back and said, we've got some responders from Robertson County. And he said, we've been able to handle what we've got. So we immediately got a call from Gallatin, and we went to Gallatin immediately and sent 5 guys and a fire engine over there and spent several hours over there going through that process. And it's amazing how the communities come together when something like that's happened. And when we had our tornado, every one of these communities came to us, every one of them. I probably had 30 fire engines at my wheel during that process that morning. And so we go back and repay the same debt. So
you were telling me during the break about one who is about to retire. Can we talk about him?
We can.
Larney Lassiter.
Captain Lassiter. Yep. Captain Lassiter, when I reported for duty, my very first day of employment at Lebanon Fire Department, he was the driver of that fire engine. When I made lieutenant, my first supervisor role, he was my driver. Him and I opened Station 3 on Lebanon Road together. We worked the first shift in there together. And then through the process of promotions and stuff, I've had the opportunity to promote Larney through the ranks. And I've had a fantastic relationship with Larney. And he's one of my mentors, and it's exciting to see him move on to the next step. And he's had 37 years of service to the city, which is amazing. But I'm very proud of the work Larney's done, and the little part I've had in it has been amazing to be part of.
Well, he's had quite a career, and I guess now he's ready to retire and go on to whatever retirement brings. Somehow, if he's like his daddy at all, he won't be sitting on the shade tree every day.
No, he won't. He's always working, always doing something, or at least he says he is. I'll say that.
We've got a couple of minutes left, Chief. Anything comes to your mind you want to tell us before you go? I guess probably a safety thing. We might give a quick safety lesson here. I mean, we do have house fires. We do have Christmas trees. Sometimes it catch on fire and that sort of thing.
We do, and we've had a few fires in the last few weeks. Nothing major. We've been able to get on top of them fairly quickly. And I will say this, we prepare in the end of October, 1st of November, for the months of November, December, and about half of January for a type of call volume that we probably see spike at almost probably up 75%, and that's the mental health side of the holidays. And I can't even begin to tell you what our call volume has been in the last several days. It's been, I have 5 channels we can talk on. In the last several days, we've been on all 5 of them, and sometimes in the middle of the night. And the mental health crisis it's big in our community. This time of year is just tough. The anxiety, the depression. So I want everyone to know that if they're going through that, when they provoke or they activate the 911 system and Lebanon Fire Department responds, that they will get a professional response from us. And, it's our community. There's so many fantastic, great things going on. But if anybody's ever lost a loved one through the holidays, Christmas and things like that, this time of year is really tough on them. So I would just say love on each other and try to be a blessing to somebody. And I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas.
Well, we don't really think, normally we think about fighting fires, and then more recently we think about some accidents that you go to. We don't much think about the fire department being involved with mental health issues, but you are, as you just explained, and thank you for that. And thank you for being here. You bring us so much good information. We appreciate your visit each time, and we'll look forward to the next one whenever that is.
Thank you, Coleman.
All right. That's part 1 of Coleman and Company. That's Fire Chief Jason Baird, by the way. If you just turned our way, we appreciate him being here. We hope you'll stay tuned for more here on FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota. They have a deal designed to keep you ahead of schedule. Check out the world's #1 selling compact excavator, plus 0% financing is going on now until the end of the year. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's moving better than it was earlier from that earlier crash out there in Antioch on 24 westbound at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Now, there's still some volume coming in from Rutherford County, Murfreesboro towards Nashville, up through that area there in Antioch. Traffic's on the increase 65 south over here at Trinity Lane. Lots of radar spotted earlier, I-40 through parts of Wilson County and Smith County as well. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken is catering during this holiday season. Check out their menu online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The cozy warmth after coming in from a chilly, pink-cheeked morning walk. The perfect man cave temperature to kick back and watch the big game. When the weather turns cold, a new Rheem heating system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Feel year-round comfort with a new HVAC system installed by the pros at Randy's Heat and Air. We're the local team you can trust. Call Randy's Heat and Air today at 615-237-3604.
Partly sunny skies as we head through today, warming up to about 55 overnight, mostly cloudy, back down to 28. Partly sunny, a little warmer for your Friday, high of 57. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Just log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm Stormy Clausen.
Continue here. Welcome to part 2 of Coleman Company on Thursday morning, and welcome our friends from A.J. Johnson. We got some friends this morning, 3 of them actually. A.J. Johnson Realty and Auction, 728 West Main. Help me out here, Helene. The phone number is
615-444-0909.
Jay White is here. Jay, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
And we welcome Jim Agee. Jim, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
You and Jerry Johnson started all this stuff a long time ago, didn't you?
1977.
Right. That's what it says right here. Community trusted since 1977. So you've done something right. Still here. Jay's a big man now, though, right?
He is.
All right. Well, Jay, you want to get us started this morning?
I will, Coleman. I want to thank everybody for a great year. We want to thank all our friends and cohorts out there for all the support they've given us through this year, and thank them for another great auction year and on the private sales end too. But I do want to thank everybody for all their help. We couldn't do it without them.
Well, you love to be able at this time of year to say, hey, we've had a good year. And sometimes you can even say we've had a record-breaking year. And sometimes you can't, but it's still a good year.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Jim, you've had several of those too, haven't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're not one to brag or or boast about, show your laurels and all that. But it's been I think it's been a great thing for you. Didn't you start with the McNabbs actually and learn a little bit?
I did.
Then you and Jerry came along and started A.G. and Johnson Realty and Auction.
That's correct. That's correct.
You hadn't quit. You just slowed down a little.
I told Jay when he took over that he worked for me 30 some odd years. I forgot exactly how many. I told him I'd work for him, but I couldn't promise him 30-something years.
Well, no doubt you learned a lot from Jim A.G.
We did. I learned. I've learned a lot. Most of everything, to be honest with you, I've learned from him and Jerry both. I did, and it's been a good. I think I've been here since '86, so. 86, January of 87 is when I started, so I don't know how I'll have to do the math.
What, had 23 and 13, 33 maybe?
33 years.
36.
36 years that I've been involved in around the real estate and auction business here in Wilson County.
Jay came to work for us right out of high school. I think he's about 18 years old, 17, 18.
Well, you don't regret it.
I do not. We've all had a good time doing it, and we all enjoy doing it. And it's just part of what we do.
Yeah. Well, Helene, you came in a lot sooner, but you played an integral part here lately, especially with promotions and all that you do.
Well, I've been fortunate to learn from both Jim and Jay, and I'm going to say that Jim has not slowed down one bit at all. They're both running and gunning all the time, and as a matter of fact, I think they're going to be on two wheels outside of this parking lot in about 3 minutes.
Well, auctions has always been something that I think you have enjoyed and prided yourself on having and doing a good job, Jim.
We have. We've always been heavily involved in the auction business.
And Jay came along and just followed right on and probably loves them almost as much as you do.
I think that's a very fair statement.
It is.
When there's an auction to talk about, Jay's here to tell us where it is and what's available and all about it.
We were looking back. I think almost this year we've had 49 live auction sales.
49 live.
And around 10 online sales, and then if you count all of the charitable auctions that we've done through the year, we're probably up there in the 70, 80 sales this year. So we're at least 2 a week, right at 2 a week. So we do enjoy it. You couldn't do that much if you didn't.
When 2024 gets here, you'll be talking about them again because they'll start back up. No doubt.
We will. We've got some. We have them in the pipeline ready to start. We just can't wait till the first of the year where we can get out here and go to work again.
But in the meantime, people come in. People want to see homes. People want to see land. They talk about investment, all this kind of stuff, and you've got somebody to fit the bill, right?
We do, as we like to say. That's the private side of our business. That's the real estate side, and we have over 25 agents with the company that we can do your residential, your commercial, your land, real estate. So whatever your needs are, you can find us online, or you can give us a call at the office at 615-444-0909. And we have an agent that can help you with whatever your needs are.
All right. Anything else any of you want to mention here this morning before we sort of close it out?
I'm going to say this. We won't see you until after Christmas.
That's right.
We're going to want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. Right. Enjoy your time with your family, because I know we will enjoy our time with our family. Yeah. We're going to take a little break over the long weekend.
But we will be here next Thursday, and you will be.
We'll get to see you after Christmas, but before the New Year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jim, it's always good to see you, and it's
always good to be seen.
Absolutely.
I hear that a lot, and I agree with that. It certainly is. Jay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jim, thank you. Helene, thank you.
Thank you, Coleman.
Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next week.
Merry Christmas to you.
A.G. and Johnson Realty and Auction, 728 West Main, www.agandjohnson.com. We're now 22 minutes before the hour, and I have 2 guests here this morning that I want to introduce. And one I was expecting, to be honest, the other I wasn't, but we welcome him as well. But ladies first, Debbie Beret, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
You are with the help me out here. I done had a senior moment.
The SCAN program.
The SCAN, yes. Senior Citizens Awareness Network.
That's
right?
correct.
Okay, the SCAN program, and we haven't had you here in really quite a while.
That's it. It's my first time in the renovation.
Yes. Well, I've got to mention Sergeant Witherspoon this morning. He came with you a number of times in the past, and I think he's a little incapacitated now and doesn't get out as much. He's retired, I guess.
He is retired from the department.
But I did have his cell phone. I didn't have yours, so I called him, and he gave me your number, and you're here, and that's wonderful. Now, who's this guy you've brought with you this morning?
Yeah, he's my backup.
Sheriff Robert Bryant.
Good morning, Coleman.
It is good to see you, but I've got to ask.
No, you don't.
What?
Well, I missed you. I missed my regular monthly show last time.
That's
so
right.
Now you know why. So,
you want to tell us what happened?
I just had a little surgery, the procedure done on my shoulder, and it's
okay. You didn't have an accident.
No, just getting old, I think. They had to go
your left arm is in a sling.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So, and luckily I'm right-handed, so everything's going well.
Okay. Well, Sheriff, it's always good to see you, and I hope things are going well. But the two of you, the SCAN program came about, I guess, with Sheriff Terry Ash helped get that going?
It did, Coleman. Interesting. We were just talking before we came in that there was some question about when I came, when did it start? How long, have we been going? So, like everybody else, I Googled it and was able to find, and we're going to be heading into our 24th year in 2024. So that's incredible. The program actually started with an effort with Leadership Wilson and UNC Hospital. And I think Sheriff Ash had brought the idea back and kind of pitched it to those in groups. And here we are, almost 24 years later.
Well, do you and the sheriff work together on this all the time?
We work together on this all the time. And, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, so we do have a board. The sheriff is chairman of our board. Lance Howe, David Bennett, Jennifer Edwards, Inslee Hagan, they are on our board. That's what our board consists of. And we are always in communication about just checks and balances, how we do things, how our procedures are running, how we need to tweak things if we need to. And that's always goes in front of our board.
Yeah. Well, might tell people what maybe your mission, if you have a mission statement, or Senior Citizens Awareness Network. That tells us a little bit, but it sure doesn't tell the whole story.
Right. Our effort is solely focused on seniors in Wilson County, helping and assisting, identifying those that are in need of assistance, and then providing what assistance we can, or reaching out to community partners to say, hey, can you help us in this area?
And how long have you been doing this?
I'm going in my 15th year.
Yeah. Well, you have been here a number of times to talk about this, and it's really good to have you here again today. Have things changed much in those years?
I think what has changed is just our ability to assist seniors. Mm-hmm. When I came, I knew that we had to be credible. We had to do what we say we're going to do. We had to gain the trust of our community and our department. That's huge for us. And I think by doing that, people want to be a part of what we do. People donate money. Nothing we do for anybody costs anything. So those funds come from our community, and then we just turn it right back around in assistance.
Do you, Sheriff, have a lot of referrals to SCAN?
Yeah, and let me say this, I come here once a month and I talk about, all the bad stuff, different things going on around the county. But today I'm sitting here and tell you about good things, okay? Yeah. And it's and as you said, I inherited the SCAN program from Sheriff Ash, and it was established then. But we have grown that. We have grown the program, and but yeah, I mean, and what we've done, we've actually, Debbie and her group has actually gone into our trainings, our patrol officers' trainings, the City of Lebanon's trainings, Mount Jude's trainings, to get the word out about SCAN, because these patrol officers that answer these calls out here every day, they may run up on something where a senior needs something, living by himself. It would amaze you at the number of seniors that really don't have nobody. And we talk about giving them, resources, helping them out, but a lot of this is about the visit. They actually go to the house and they sit and talk to these seniors for 30, 45 minutes, and the seniors will cook them cakes and cookies and everything else. So I've actually witnessed it, and I've gotten some of them cakes and cookies too, but it's important that the word, we spread the word and was able to, help our seniors across the county.
Well, no doubt your presence is very welcome, and probably when the 45 minutes is up, they want you to stay another 45.
They don't want us to go
somewhere else to go.
And it's hard to leave sometimes. It's kind of reversed. But I have to just commend our volunteers. We have currently 33 volunteers on our team. They go out every day. We go out in teams. We're looking at I looked at the numbers yesterday before I came. We're probably going to be doing about 6,500 volunteer hours this year by the end of the month. So that tells you how hard and how much time our volunteers are putting into this.
I take it your volunteers are the ones who make most of these visits. Do you yourself get to make any? Or?
I do. Initially, myself and my operations manager, we are usually the first point of contact, and we do that so that I can assess what the needs are. What's the environment? What are the needs here? We have to also ascertain that we've got a safe environment. Mm-hmm. We don't want to send our volunteers into a situation that we feel is not safe, and we rely on the department and the deputies, if we get in a situation like that, to either come with us or advise us or share with us, because sometimes there's a lot of history somewhere, and that is helpful for us to know.
Well, I take it you're still needing volunteers.
We always need volunteers. The more volunteers we have, the more people we can visit.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk more about volunteering maybe, but it's time for us to take a break, so let's do that right here. Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Absolute Kubota. They have a deal designed to keep you ahead of schedule. Check out the world's #1 selling compact excavator plus 0% financing. It's going on now until the end of the year. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic still a little bit heavy coming down through Millersville right now on 65 southbound through Sumner County. It's looking better than it was earlier out in Antioch from the earlier crash on 24 westbound at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of traffic volume coming in from Rutherford County up through there on 24 going westbound. Lots of radar out here this morning, folks. Be careful. Make sure you got that seatbelt on also. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services in Middle Tennessee. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. They're online, tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
Hey, this is Paul with Bates Ford. Have I got some exciting news for you? Bates Ford's moved into our new location at 1780 Franklin Road. That's right, Bates Ford's at 1780 Franklin Road, just off Hartman Drive and Interstate 40. We've got a much larger selection of vehicles to choose from, a state-of-the-art double-sized service department. So come see us at 1780 Franklin Road. That's Bates Ford, 615-444-8221. Bates Ford, the dealer will trade for anything that don't eat.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us, and welcome now to our final segment. My conversation gets interrupted sometimes when the on-air light comes on. But Debbie Paray with SCAN is with us this morning, along with Sheriff Robert Bryan, and between the two of them, we're finding out a lot about what the SCAN program is for those who haven't heard of it before. But I think the word has gotten out. People have, a lot of people know about you. There's still, I'm sure there's a lot that don't. But we were talking about volunteers, so let's talk about that right now. How you need volunteers, and probably not just anybody can be a volunteer to do what you're doing. Somebody that has some time and really time is what we're talking about here. Spending some time with people who are senior citizens who need conversation, need to see somebody.
That's true. We're always looking for volunteers. People that call, say, how do we do this? The first step is fill out an application. And they come to our office and we get the application. Then the application goes to the sheriff's office and they do the background checks. And so once those are completed, they come back to us and then we call them in and talk about how we do our training and what's required. We ask for 16 hours a month. Our volunteers go out one day a week. Usually it's about a 4-hour day. But I will tell you, based on the numbers I shared with you earlier, that they give way more than 16 hours a month. And you look for people that are interested in visiting with seniors, that are interested in that age group of individuals. Coleman, I'll tell you, I've got volunteers, and the sheriff and I talk about that a lot, that have been here 10 years, 8 years, 13 years. I'll be going on 15. I have somebody else going on 15. We don't have a lot of our turnover in our volunteers. It's a life-changing experience. It's you get to know and meet people that you would never have otherwise met.
What's a visit like? It depends on who you're visiting, and I'm sure either whether it's male or female even might make a difference, of course. But what's a visit like?
So basically, what we do, we let them know the day before, can we come to visit, and then we always go out in teams of 2. So there are always 2 of us. We're always in uniform. We're always in a marked unit. Those are important things. Those are kind of added safety features.
That's an identity of its own.
It is. And then we just sit down and talk. We talk about what's going on with them. I keep the volunteers on the same schedule for 2 months so they get to know these individuals. And by the time that we do a switch, they don't want to switch. They want to stay with their folks. And then the seniors call me and say, don't change. We love them. Keep them with us. But we do that so that everybody gets to meet our seniors. And we have right now like 105 seniors in our program. So it's nice for everybody to kind of get to switch around and meet different folks.
Okay, you need the volunteers, and they get to meet a lot of people this way. But what about how often are you adding people to be seen? And I suppose that depends on if you have volunteers available.
It does. And sometimes we have a waiting list. And the people that we put on our waiting list, we stay in contact with them by phone. I can't take on more than I can service well. So we try to juggle that. And
quality, not quantity.
Exactly. Yeah. However, with those that maybe aren't already in our visit program, we are in contact with them by phone. There's a need that they have, we jump right in and service that need. But the more volunteers I have, the more people I can service.
Well, Sheriff, you probably are all smiles about this, and you were saying when we started, we talk a lot about there's a lot of bad news that we have to talk about, but this is really all good and positive. It sounds like
it is, and the way I can see it, this program has always been a success, and it is now, but. Is the people that support this program. I mean, there's a lot of financial support that comes from across the county, and and I sign thank you letters all the time. She's bringing me thank you letters, so we can send thank you letters to people who gave money, and it would surprise me with the amount of people that's given money to this program, because this program has actually touch someone that they know or they're kin to, and in saying that, she was talking about they're in a marked patrol car. They're in a marked patrol car, yes, but it's got yellow lights and it says scan all over it. But them cars were donated. Mm-hmm. There's no taxpayer dollars there. So, and we've got several groups that does fundraisers for us every year, and like I said, it would amaze you what financial support we get. And I just want to give one example. We started here in the past couple of years, just looking at, who we identify that really needs some assistance financially. And there was one lady we helped put a rail on her steps going in her house. But I want to tell you about this one story. We found a senior. His driveway was just, if a fire truck or ambulance had to get up to it, they'd have to walk. Oh. And we got together as a board and we said, let's fix this man's driveway. And he's got the prettiest driveway there is. And it all come from donations. And that's the things we do. That's the things SCAN volunteers and the people who support it do. But if that man calls for an ambulance or a fire truck, it's going to get to his house now. So it's things like that.
Right, yeah. Well, and I guess you get reports that this kind of stuff happens a lot more than people would realize. There certain situations where there's a need there. It's not really a law enforcement need, but it's a need for somebody to come and help do something for somebody.
Right. It's also that too. We get calls all the time about we got this senior here. They need this. We can't help everybody because maybe the family structure or something like that. It might not be a safe thing to do, but Debbie and her group are able to get resources, from the state and different agencies across the state to try to help them, even though we can't actually visit. So it's more about the contact. They make contact with, maybe we can help them with something.
Well, I think you, without a doubt, established the need for what you do, and the need is probably growing as we grow. There's probably more people who fit the description we've talked about here. One thing we haven't mentioned, but Fire Chief was talking about this earlier, and we're hearing more about mental health. Do you are mental health issues involved with some of the people that you at least you hear about it and maybe help them if you don't have them on your visitors list?
I would say probably the most common thing we see is memory issues, dementia, Alzheimer's, those kinds of things. And they're challenging situations. One of the things that does happen is, and I feel like it's because people are aware of what we do and can reach out to us, is they call to say, what do we do? I may have a family member that has advanced dementia, still living at home. Family doesn't know what to do. They call and reach out to us. So we field a lot of those kind of calls, and then we're able to help them find resources. We can assist if there's parts of that picture that we can help with. We certainly do that. But we also can connect them with resources and just kind of advise them. I have a lot of experience in my background with those kinds of situations, so sometimes I'm able to help them and lead them in the right direction.
Well, not that we want to exclude anyone. I take it this is strictly a Wilson County thing.
Yeah, it is, Coleman. We had, since we were here last time, last year, our program was recognized with the 2022 SAGE Award handed out by Agewell, Middle Tennessee, which we were just super excited about. Judge Tatum joined us on that day, and the sheriff and I were there, and the whole a lot of our volunteers were able to be there for that day. I recently got contacted by Oak Ridge that had heard about our program and said, hey, we want to know more about that. We got Rutherford County started as well. So, the sheriff and I share that, the same thought that if anybody's interested, all they have to do is reach out to us.
Well, it sounds like we've just got a great thing here, and you've just about got it down to perfection, it sounds to me like.
Yeah, thanks to Debbie and her group. It's a successful program, and she talked about, other agencies across the state contacting us. We've had several, but if they're not committed to it, they really don't succeed, and we've seen that. But Rutherford County, they've done pretty good, and they've got their own. It's not as big as our program, but they've got a program over there that they're working to grow, and they also got that award with us, Sage Award with us that when we got that. So, but like I said, it's a successful program, and it's touching people's lives every day.
What's that? I'm trying to think of this saying that. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery, or something like that. People seeing a good thing here and wanting to copy it to have something similar for them. I think that's
a huge compliment to us, and we're we're just positioned to help. One thing I want to mention, Coleman, before we go, each year we try to recognize one of our community partners with a community service award, and this year we recognize the SALT Ministry. And that is a ministry here in Wilson County that is a collaborative effort of several churches, and they deliver food. They assist with supplementing food for our seniors, and we connect with them all the time. And looking at that this year, we chose Joyce Gaines and the SALT Ministry for our Community Service Award.
All right, we've covered a lot of territory here. It's about time for us to wind it up. Got 30 seconds here, but Sheriff, good to see you, and good to have you to help explain here all about the SCAN program. And Debbie, it's just really great to have you here this morning.
Thank you, Coleman. It's glad to be
Wish
back.
everybody Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this Thursday. We'll be back here, if all goes well, tomorrow for the Friday edition, and hope you'll be there. And until tomorrow, I wish you a tremendous day.